Today, we talk about...
Sorry to cut you off, but what were your early miserable? Were they just blogs of
No,
yourself?
no. I was doing like history of brands, sneakers, shoes, different clothing lines. Like I really explored like the depths of, like I said, I collect for historic purpose. So like anything that has any kind of story to the inspiration of its design or the design language of the shoe or different elements of the shoe that came from certain things, or certain shoe was worn by a certain person doing a significant feat. That's what I go into in the videos, like, hey, this is why I got this shoe.
Nice.
And people really enjoy that content, just from an educational standpoint.
Yeah.
So
you're in those. You're having you have a break in vulnerability. One of the videos.
It's not even
right?
a break in vulnerability. Oh, break. Yeah.
So
if I think I know what you're saying. Where I was just like, guys, this sucks. Like, people are watching, but it's for the amount of work I'm putting into this. Like I'm in a miserable state right now. It's just like a dark era, and just a couple inspirational just comment backs like, hey man, I never comment, but dude, you're fucking
nice.
Like, and then those comments started to come more and more, and then I had a couple more breakthroughs where I was just like, because I would psych myself out because like, look, I've got all this fancy tripod equipment, DSLRs, boom mics, and at home I had like a 3-camera setup, and I was editing it all myself and I color correcting. I'm just like.
And that's a process you can get lost in.
Yeah, and I was burnt out to the point where I was starting to get furious with myself for coming up with a new idea, but then, hey, no one's going to help you make this, and B, it's going to be a bitch just to set up your studio in your basement.
You're already defeating yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just more and more painful. Finally, I'm just like, man, I just got to go raw. And I just start using my iPhone. Literally, that's all I use now.
I know I saw this, and I was like, no offense with I saw this and that, and then with the where we are, I was like, I saw this, and because I watched so many podcasts and stuff like that, and I saw the phone, I was like, no, the phone is better, or at least like easier, because it doesn't really matter. Yeah, and
it's easier for me to transfer it over, and then I plug it into Final Cut, transfer in this file, boom, done. And it's not perfect studio sound or whatever, but it's passable.
Yeah, it's just like, I know people who do, I'm not the biggest, because I did the same thing. My podcast that I do is now long distance, and for a long time we were trying to figure all this shit out, blah blah blah, and I finally bought a Zoom, which is just a handheld recorder, and it just everything. And I was like, we were going to go, oh, let's sign up with this agency and they'll send our sound bites to this editor, and I was like, dude, I mean, it was mostly my buddy. My buddy was like, dude, screw that. Just go buy the recorder and just do it the easier way.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's about just getting the content out there. It may not be perfect. It may not be exactly what you want, but I mean, I bust out way more content, way more efficiently. My audience is growing way quicker now. People are more gravitated to the rawness of me. Like, that's kind of my brand now. Because, exactly. They're like, dude, you're like the only real person I see on YouTube. I'm that's refreshing.
I think that helps with... I've noticed the same thing on a very micro scale with even Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Where it's just like if someone like I almost got jumped the other day, or someone like blah, blah, blah. Whatever happens, I'll just immediately go like this. And then with that 15-second window, you can kind of see how you actually are. And then you can maybe add a punch to it really quick. And then even when I think it's stupid, I'll be like, oh, that's dumb, I'm not going to watch it again. But people will DM me like, hey, that's funny, or hey, I think that same way. And you're like, all right, cool. Instead of just scripting it.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Real
and
people.
It's way less work.
Yeah.
You're being yourself. And so as that continued to happen, all of a sudden, anytime I go out to dinner and I'm by myself, I'll chat it up with the waiter or the bartender or whatever, and all of a sudden we're vibing, and they're offering me free like snacks and stuff. I'm like, holy shit, just being myself. You know, all of a sudden I can be myself.
I was coming from being an awkward person. I was never like super awkward. Like I had friends and all that growing up. I was kind of the guy in the middle, right? I had friends with whoever. I didn't judge anybody, but still, I think moving to different cities by myself, what I found to do is just, even if I was feeling nervous, say I go up to a legendary comic, I'd be like, hey man, sorry, I'm pretty nervous, but I just want to meet you. As long as I say it, then I'm okay.
Yeah.
If I just admit like, hey, pretty nervous to meet you, but I just want to say love your stuff, high five, that was weird, but anyway, great to, and they're just like, hey, let's talk more. And I'm like, all right, cool. That's something that I think moving to New York, not knowing anybody, before last week I had one of those down in the dumps, like, oh man, I don't know any comics yet, I don't know anybody, and then